It's easy to work hard when people are watching, right? When there's praise, when there's pressure, when someone is expecting results from you. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who are you when nobody is watching? No audience, no validation, no reward, just you. In this video, we're going to dive in to why discipline in private is the secret ingredient that truly changes your life. I'll show you how to build it, even when your motivation is completely gone. Stick around because this could be the shift you've been waiting for. So, let's get into it. Why do most people lose discipline? It's simple, really. Most people rely entirely on motivation. They feel inspired, so they act. They feel tired, so they stop. They feel excited, so they start a new project. They feel bored, so they abandon it. Does that sound familiar? That isn't discipline, that's emotion-driven behavior. You're letting your temporary feelings dictate your long-term actions. Real self-discipline is the complete opposite. It's doing what needs to be done, period. It's showing up when you're tired. It's pushing through when you're bored. It's putting in the work when you know for a fact that no one will ever notice. True personal development begins at the exact moment your actions stop, depending on how you feel. It's when you decide that your goals are more important than your mood. When you make that switch, you move from being a passenger in your own life to being the driver. You stop waiting for the perfect feeling to arrive and start creating the results you want, regardless of the circumstances. That's the first major step. Now, let's talk about the invisible work. This is the work that truly builds success. Think about anyone you admire, anyone who has achieved something great. What do we see? We see the polished result, the award ceremony, the successful business launch, the finished masterpiece. But what we don't see is the mountain of invisible work that got them there. Nobody sees the countless early mornings when the rest of the world is asleep. Nobody sees the hours and hours of quiet, focused practice. Nobody sees the hundreds, maybe thousands, of failed attempts that came before the one big success. Nobody sees the daily acts of self-control, like choosing to work instead of watching another episode, or choosing a healthy meal over junk food. They only see the result. But success isn't built in the spotlight. Success is built in private. Confidence is built in private. Self-respect is built in private. It's forged in those quiet moments of effort when no one is cheering you on. If you only work when you're being seen, if you only put in the effort when you expect a reward, you will never, ever become the person you could truly be. The real you is built behind the scenes. Every time you show up for yourself in private, you're laying another brick in the foundation of your future success. This brings me to a crucial point. Discipline is not punishment. So many of us see it as a chore, a burden, something we have to force ourselves to do. I want you to reframe that right now. Discipline is one of the highest forms of self-respect. Think about it. Every single time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you choose effort over comfort, every time you finish what you started, you're sending a powerful message to your own brain. You're telling yourself, I am someone who can be trusted. I am reliable. My word to myself matters. And that self-trust is the absolute foundation of genuine confidence, real growth, and lasting success. It's not about being perfect. It's about being dependable to yourself. When you know you can count on yourself to do the hard things, your self-worth skyrockets. You stop seeking validation from others because you've already validated yourself. You respect yourself enough to invest in your own future even when it's uncomfortable. This isn't about restriction. It's about liberation. It's the freedom that comes from knowing you are in control of your own actions and your own destiny. Okay, so how do we actually build this kind of discipline in our daily lives? The good news is you don't need to start with some extreme punishing routine. You just need consistency. Here are 3 practical steps you can start using today. First, start with non-negotiables. Don't try to change 10 things at once. Choose just 1 or 2 small habits that you will do every single day, no matter what. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a book. Maybe it's a 5-minute walk. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. The size of the habit doesn't matter as much as the consistency. Small, consistent wins build the muscle of discipline much faster than big, overwhelming plans that you'll abandon in a week. Second, remove decisions. Discipline often fails when everything feels optional. If you have to decide every morning whether or not to work out, you're draining your willpower. Instead, decide once, make the decision that you are a person who works out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's it. The decision is made. Now, all you have to do is execute. Automate your choices around your goals. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Prepare your healthy meals in advance. The fewer decisions you have to make in the moment, the more likely you are to follow through. Third, and this one is a game changer. Act before you think. Thinking creates excuses. Your brain is a master at talking you out of things. It will tell you you're too tired, you're not ready, you can do it later. Action, on the other hand, creates momentum. The moment you think of the thing you need to do, just start doing it. Use the 5-second rule if you have to. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and physically move. Do the task first and let the feeling of motivation catch up to you later. Motivation doesn't lead to action. It's the other way around. Action creates motivation. So why does this type of private, quiet discipline change absolutely everything? When you build discipline in private, a few magical things start to happen. First, motivation becomes irrelevant. You no longer need to feel good to get things done.